Okay, let's do a few more examples dealing with trigonometric ratios and how to find the length of a side of a right triangle. Okay, so we're going to go through these. Well, first ones will be a little slow just to get the process down, and then we'll speed it up just a little bit, just with giving you some shortcuts. So our first thing is we have to identify HOA. So here's my angle, here's my H, opposite is O, and this is my adjacent. The adjacent side does not have a number or a letter associated with it, so that's gone. I have O and H. You might want to put this at the top of your paper, SOHCAHTOA. Oh man, how come nobody told me I was off the screen? There we go. So identify the identify the angle. Here's my HOA. There's nothing at the A. Okay, put this at the top of your paper. That was a quick recap. So O and H is sine. So I'm going to write my equation. Sine 28 degrees equals, now I write my ratio. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. We said if the x is on the top, then it's going to be a multiplication. Okay. Now, some people will write the whole thing out. Others can just do it kind of a little shortcut. So really it's x equals 19 times sine 28. Again, I'll show you a shortcut. You don't always have to write this out. I can do this on the calculator. I can replace the sine of 28 and take it times 19, and I'm going to get 8.9. Remember, this will be replaced with its decimal form. I'll show you on the calculator. So I'm going to take sine of 28, find that decimal. I don't need to write it down necessarily because the computer or the calculator has it for me. Times the 19, and I get my 8.9. Now, the other way that, we'll just do it that way. All right, let's go over here. So the angle I'm looking at is right here at 41 degrees. This is my hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent. Nothing at the hypotenuse, so I'm going to use the tan. So the tan of 41 degrees equals, the ratio is the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, so we said if x is on the top, it's a multiply. So I need to multiply these two right here. Okay, I'm just going to do it all on my calculator. I don't need to write anything else. I can find x just by the way it is. Okay, so we're going to start with this number over here. Okay, because it's just easier that way. So 32 times, now I'm going to put my decimal in, tan 41 equals, and you can see I get 27.8 done. So if you can go through all the work and get this equation set up exactly like it needs to be, then the calculation itself is fairly easy. It's just a multiply or divide on the calculator. Okay, so let's go a little bit quicker now. We can go through these. So here's my angle. I have HOA. Don't need that one. A and H. I'm going to use cosine. Cosine of the angle, 21 degrees, equals adjacent over hypotenuse. X is on the top. This is going to be a multiply. I'm going to put in 26 first. So 26 times, push cosine, 21 degrees, equals. So x is going to be 24.3. It's pretty slick, isn't it, once you get going? But you have to do this first beginning work correctly or you're going to be getting incorrect answers. So HOA, there's no H. So opposite and adjacent are tan. So I'm going to say tan of 55 equals the opposite over the adjacent. There's my equation. X is on the top, so it's a multiply. Remember, we always want to put the whole number or the decimal in first, then we do the trig. So 8 times tan 55. X is going to be 11.4. Okay? So let me know in class if you don't understand how we did those. Now, these next four are basically the same way. I think you'll see what the one difference is though. So here's my angle, H, O, A. O and H are sine, 33 degrees equals, and then my fraction or ratio is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so you see what's different with that one? We have X on the bottom now. Okay, we could go through and we could say, okay, we're going to replace the sine of 33 with this decimal. So sine 33, and that'd be 0.5446. We could cross multiply, so 0.5446 times X is going to equal 15. Divide. So X is going to be 15 divided by 0.5446. Okay, so I got to clear this out. Punch in 15, divide 0.5446. So my X is going to be 27.5. Okay, now that's kind of what I would consider the long way of going through it. Okay, let's go kind of with the shortcuts that we did up above. So here's my angle, HOA, don't need the O. So we have cosine, 43 degrees equals the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now recognize X is on the bottom. Okay, if X is on the bottom, this is a divide problem. Okay, so I'm going to take the whole number first, just like we did before, 36, divide cosine 43. There's kind of the shortcut, the easy way. Again, if I don't have this set up right, if I don't have the right trig, if I don't have the right ratio, this is not going to be right. It doesn't matter what fancy things I do in my calculator. You'll want to make sure if you're using your phone calculator that you are getting that, because the phone calculators can work just a little bit differently. All right, so this one, HOA. So we're going to use the tan of 72 degrees equals 25 over X. Because we didn't need the H here. So this is a divide problem. X is on the bottom. So I'm actually going to take 25 divided by tan 72. Okay, maybe you want to write it out that way if that helps remind you. Okay, when I take 25 divided by tan 72, I get 8.1. Okay, and last one in this group. So here's my H and O and A. Nothing by the O, so we're going to go cosine 64 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, X is on the top. Okay, that's a multiply problem. So I'm going to take X is going to equal 11 times the cosine of 64. Again, that's writing it out. I'm not requiring that you write out the work with that because this is what I'll look at. Did you do that correctly? And then I'll look to see, do you know how to solve that thing? So 11 times cosine 64. 4.8. All right, we're going to stop there. We'll do part 3 with these 2 word problems down here.